Welcome Unicums and soon to be Unicums. I'm Okaviator and today I'm going to be showcasing two games that I got submitted to me from Larry in his Leo 1 and one game submitted to me from Amorax in his E5. Right off the bat we see Larry's going to the typical med spot on this map. Definitely a good starting position to Leo 1 because with that mobility you can get there before most tanks get there. He ends up getting shot to the M46. His teammate it looks like his TD actually HE'd that M46, which is questionable since a TD will easily be able to pen that M46. Right now, if you look at him, he's kind of making sure that his turret never pokes over that ridge because he doesn't know where those two tier 10 TDs are. He only knows where that T30 is. Those two tier 10 TDs could easily be behind where that T30 is. He sees that 215B is distracted. So right now he's not poking over the bridge. He's just conserving his hit points, which is the right thing to do at this time of the game. The Leo is definitely a late game tank, and you want to conserve your hit points for the late part of the game where it really matters. Right now he gets a shot to the M46. He sees that their team is pushing the right side. Two of their tier 10 tank destroyers are pushing the right side. The M46 is a one shot. He has an IS-8, a 704 to back him up on the left side. So right now he's just going for the M46. One thing you have to note is that he's playing Supremacy so that all these kills add up to points, and in Supremacy every point matters. Speaking from experience, which is one of the reasons why I don't play Supremacy. Right now he sees that 215B in the middle. He kind of looks over the house to see if that 215B is looking at him or not, which is the right thing to do. That guy's not looking at him, and he ends up taking him out for 144 hit points. Just look at these shots that he's getting. This is definitely one of the best tier 10 meds in my opinion because of the accuracy. He ends up getting a 347 roll into the grill, shooting through the rails on the bridge. His teammate right now is kind of isolated on the right, so he's gonna decide to push this T30, which is isolated. He sees his IS-8 pushing the T30 already, so he's gonna decide to push with his IS-8, so that this IS-8 could possibly take a hit for him, and then they'll easily be able to out DPM this guy. Right now, he's kind of just looking around the corner, seeing if that T30 can have a shot on him. The T30 ends up getting an HE shot into him. Luckily, that did not pen, otherwise that would have cost him 1,000 hit points or more. Right now, this guy's a one shot. His teammate currently is sitting at half his hit points on the right side. And that his teammate ends up taking 478 hit points. What Larry is doing right now is he's going towards the middle to try and hopefully clean up some of these one shots, which is definitely the right thing to do. He ends up taking out the Chieftain. The E4 is not looking at him, but the two enemy tanks on the right are, so he ends up going up here, relocating, saving his hit points, which is the right thing to do. His IS-8 friend is not looking that good. It's just down to him and the IS-8. IS-8 is a one shot, and the Larry is sitting at 808 hit points. Right now, what he's doing is he's resetting his camo. See how that KPC doesn't look at him? That's because he is not spotted. Right now, Grill didn't have enough time to aim in, so he doesn't shoot, which is to Larry's advantage. Right now, Larry, instead of running, he decides to face this guy head on. In my opinion, I wouldn't do this, mainly because it's just too risky and not really worth it in my opinion. But he ends up coming away with the victory over this grill, and this shot definitely should have hit, but unluckily it hits the rock. While the grill kind of turns to the right, Larry takes out the grill before the grill even has enough time to shoot. This KPZ is pushing on him. What Larry is doing right now is he's actually being sneaky here. He's looking through the grill's dead body, trying to get a shot at this KPZ because he knows that this KPZ's accuracy isn't good enough to get a shot like that. And KPZ misses, and now Larry is just using his DPM to rip apart this KPZ. What Larry's doing right now is the right thing. He's using this grill's dead corpse to try and create a barrier between him and the KPZ. The KPZ ends up doing the right thing, shooting HG into his side, but it's all over now because Larry has the mobility, the DPM advantage, and he's just going to end up taking this guy out, securing his 7th kill, his crucial contribution, his high caliber, and with 5,911 damage, Larry ends up securing the mastery. 26 shots fired, 21 hit, 21 penned. Definitely good numbers that we want to see. Next up, we have Amorax in his E5. He's deciding to go towards the desert even though his teammates are going towards the right. His teammates are doing the wrong thing in my opinion. If I were Rax, I would do the same thing. I would just stick towards the desert because going towards the town in an E5 is just suicide. So what Rax is doing right now is, since his teammates aren't all deciding to push the left side, he's sort of hugging the middle so that if he does have to, he can just rush into town and just have the support of his teammates. The 268 pokes over, ends up bouncing on Rax. It looks like his chieftain behind him ends up getting a shot into the 268 as well. And while that 268 is reloading, Rax is just going to poke over, get a shot into the E100. That shot that the E100 got on Rax was actually very unlucky. It looks like Rax was hauled down, so it definitely should have hit him. This 268 is a one-shot right now, and his teammate is just going to end up finishing him off right about now. Right now, Rax is just deciding to push in. He sees that the enemy team is pushed in deep into his teammates that did decide to go town, and right now he's just going for the cleanup, trying to get that extra damage. He sees his IS-7 buddy taking a bunch of hits, and he knows that unless he gets in there quickly, his teammates are just going to die. He ends up going for the E100. As you can see here, Rax is doing the right thing. He used his turret effectively, making sure that the E100's gun was always pointed at his gun. This means that if the E100 did decide to fire it, it would just end up bouncing on his turret. He ends up securing the kill on the E100, taking him out, and right now he's just pushing towards the VK, which is the weakest link on the enemy team, which in my opinion is the best thing to do in these type of situations. He's just kind of making sure that the chieftain is always kind of staying behind him, not able to get a shot into his rear. He looks back, sees that chieftain is pushing him, so he decides to do the right thing and pushes forward, creating that barrier between him and that chieftain. While that chieftain is distracted with that Yay Tiger on his team, he's going to end up shooting the VK. Chieftain ends up taking out his Yay Tiger, unfortunately. And right now, what Rax is doing is he's trying to get behind this chieftain while the chieftain is distracted with his teammate in a chieftain. And while that guy is shooting his teammate, just gotta go behind, get a shot into the chieftain, and now it ends up becoming a 1v1. This chieftain ends up pretty much doubling Rax's hit points, but Rax ends up getting a clutch shot into that guy's cupola. Chieftain ends up bouncing, and Rax is just using these dead tank corpses to his advantage. Unfortunately, his shot ends up going into his teammate's gun, and right now Rax is just pushing forward, trying to take that distance between him and the chieftain away, because he knows that if he can get close up and personal, that chieftain won't be able to get any shots into his hull, which is a weak part of his tank. And now we see the enemy chieftain using his mobility to get to Rax's side and end up shooting him in his side, but what he doesn't realize is that Rax has a reload on him and ends up taking him out. So 6,074 damage, 1,900 damage blocked, definitely awesome game from Rax. 1,447 base XP, out of 18 shots, 17 hit, 16 penned. Definitely an awesome game from Rex. If you did enjoy these games, definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.